Alright, marshmallows and mallow cups, you ready to dance? We're going to do this just a little bit differently so you can actually apply the technique yourself. You can do this at any time you want to grab a piece of paper and just pound out the chicken scratch in terms of the Morse code you're tapping to. You're going to tap to the chalkboard later by virtue of, I feel that my own models were the best out of my own models, not just one system, or where I might have had some uncertainty was clearly defined. One thing we can expect from this class to a certain degree is that I'm an accelerating moving frame. I understand enough of the quantum physics terms, the teachers' names, what type of eschatology you would need, maybe not exactly the dates of when their thesis degree was relative, which is something you'll need while in the library, teaching kids specifically what that is in general. MIT teachers should be covered in terms of the three-phase motor with 4 wires that do this when a student's field charge has that Cain and Abel effect of walking through a plant and breaking down the mechanics. Remember, the result of this thesis, as far as a wave equation or linear equation, wave function x, fx, is going to be like a thought design. Not only that I could have this designed for you, but we could have portions designed and then expose those at certain times so I don't waste any time. But one of the real functions that you got to get through is the actual writing it down on the board. Even though this is a well understood topic through many years, there's still the statement that there are new people in the Lumen technique that has to register the field charge, not only in the seats, but by virtue of the cosmic background, C++, you're graded that standardized methodology. That in this group, with this wave equation being taught right now with the teacher, their methodology, any internal momentums or uncertainties that go to the expectations against what we were graphing. Once it was an unknown, then we watched it, gave some of the things numbers. We may not have got them all, but we got enough of that quantum field, that Higgs field, enough of the cores in terms of their overlying relationship to each other in a core driving mechanism on this chalkboard.
Content is provided under a Creative
From a few years, you can tell it used to be there.
No? Nothing? All right.
So in here you can expect certain
the story
things.
so far. Born to get your coffee.
Need a one.
Well, the story so far is basically 3 postulates.
I should have covered those 3 things. I'm not worried about taking his class.
The
He
first
shouldn't
is
be
that
worried
the
about me taking
configuration
his class if he's listened to the field charge correctly and can trust
of a
that.
particle. Whoops.
And in the way, I'm not too worried about
Particle
the difference. People are going to stumble and step in this or have it prepped or your
is
15
given
minutes
by or
prior
described by
is a pretty
wave
common
function,
thesis. And you would graph somebody with home field advantage to that idea in this
psi of x.
quantum field, the expectations. There's a quantum physics teacher, right?
Yeah.
And the momentum
particular,
behind
just
that can be
to
teaching in a
flesh
class
this out
or
a little
utilizing
more,
this
if we were
wave
in 3D,
functions
for
x
example, which we're not,
to
we're currently in
remove
our
some of the
one-dimensional
uncertainty
tripped-out tricycle.
by
In
explaining their
3D,
numbers, their
the wave
momentums,
function
and
would
their
be a function of all 3
projectiles.
positions,
So what did we do
X,
here?
Y,
What is the most
Z.
brick and dryer conjecture here? I'm throwing hot fast at you.
If we had 2 particles,
2 particles. T2.
our
Copenhagen
wave function
interpretation
would
of
be a function
Minkowski
of
in
the
space.
position of each particle.
Very important to understand, even though I'm in inequality to
And so on.
this
So
system.
we'll go through lots of details and examples.
And it works that way.
later on.
If we were in a different
for
room
the
on
most
time
part, we're gonna be
topology
sticking
and all you
with
had
single
was me
particle
and
in
we
one
weren't even
dimension
talking
for the
about
next few
MIT,
weeks.
I would become
Now, again, I want to
0
emphasize
or
that
1.
this is our
But
first
it's not by
pass through
nature
our
of that. Remember,
definition
there's
of
core
quantum
metrics
mechanics.
here.
Once we've used the
Like
language and the machinery a
studying
little
math,
bit, we're going to develop a more general,
You'll figure out your business.
more
And some kid will
coherent
ask a question.
set
Some
of rules
kid
or
in that
definitions of
business
quantum
may be
mechanics.
concerned.
This is
It
our
may
first
be
pass.
concerned with governmental activities and why this number is
The
important.
meaning of the wave function
To a certain
that
degree,
the
everything
norm
is a
squared,
sovereign state.
psi of x,
Everything.
norm squared,
But is it
complex,
behaving,
dx,
whether in the form
is the
of
probability
mineral,
finding
mineral
the
animal, or
finding the particle.
animal plant, or whatever, that defines its properties
oops,
as a series,
Finding the
really,
particle.
a rational number, if you will,
In
a
the
rational
region
point. That
between
even
x
though the
and
rational
x plus
point is
dx.
7, you need 7 of those
So psi squared
daily
itself, norm
logs.
squared,
It's
is
7
the
points during the day where you
density.
check the numbers, and therefore p equals 0 equals 1.
And
And
third,
would reduce its value of any other chart that you
the
could do,
superposition principle.
hydrogen or whatever
If
state
if
Nicolas
there are
Cage
2
next is
possible
going to
configurations
do
the
down
system
there.
can be in, which in quantum
You
mechanics
clock in.
means two
You might
different
work
wave
the treads
functions
that
could
day,
describe
or you might work the saws that day.
the
You might
system
be
given psi
doing
1
on
and psi
normal
2,
right hand
two
rule,
wave
once
functions
we've
that could describe
established
two
that
different
wave
configurations
function's
of the system. For
differences
example, the particles
to
here
which
or
it's
the
most
particles
valuable,
here.
what is up,
It's also possible.
we can determine why that route or that square root
also
could be
possible to
something
find
that
the
we can
system
value
in a
in a chalkboard
superposition,
space or a
of
subject
those
space.
two.
It may be
Psi
relative to scale.
is
It may
equal
be
to
relative
some
to
arbitrary
unit
linear
scales.
combination, alpha
It may be
psi 1
something where you have to
plus beta
condense the
psi 2
realization not just on
of x.
Earth rocky body, but black hole.
Okay.
There's still one. But the mechanics we use is going to do this every single time. I can't disagree
So
with
some things to note. So questions about those before we